Gentlelady from Texas reserves. Gentleman from Texas is recognized.
I thank the Speaker. I would note that the gentleman, for whom I have a great deal of respect, was just using a lot of the arguments that I've heard over and over again, and it's something that we've come to understand in this town is what we call the glossary. It's like when you run out of the sort of, what are we actually going to fight over substantively, we just bring out all the terms, right? We talk about, we only have a slim majority. Well, I will remind my colleagues on this side of the aisle, the Democrats had a slim majority when they've jammed through numerous massive bills, whether it's Obamacare, whether we're talking about the Inflation Reduction Act. Yet here we sit, and we're walking away from the majority that we were given to use that majority, to use the power of the purse, to stop an executive branch that is out of control. A continuing resolution will continue to fund Biden's war on our border. And it's not just Biden, it's the radical progressive Democrats as a whole. It's a war on our well-being, a war on our security and safety. That young lady who was killed in Georgia last week, that is happening over and over again in Texas. A young cheerleader that was killed, found in a bathtub by somebody here illegally. A 2-year-old right here in Montgomery County, Maryland, outside of D.C., who was killed by someone here illegally and released. A young person in Louisiana who was raped last week in Louisiana by somebody here illegally from Honduras, released. When are we going to stop it? When is this side of the aisle going to use the power of the purse to stop it? Because I can promise you the radical progressive Democrats want it. They want open borders. We're continuing to fund a weaponized IRS, continuing to fund a weaponized Department of Justice like the DOJ that went after Mark Houck, went after Scott Smith. We're funding an EPA electric vehicle mandate. I heard my colleague talking about energy and water. What are we going to do to preserve American energy? Well, the American people suffer because our colleagues on the other side of the aisle are pursuing unicorn energy policy. EPA rules killing coal and natural gas plants, the World Health Organization, the United Nations, UNRWA, the ATF that is banning pistol braces on our Second Amendment rights, the Department of Education student loan scam, that the President of the United States went to the microphone and applauded, ignoring the United States Supreme Court. What are we going to do? Fund it. We're going to keep funding it. What about the NIH and the FDA and COVID tyranny? What about the Department of Veterans Affairs, the chief diversity officers, the abortion travel fund, taxpayer-funded sex changes, transgender surgeries? Your tax dollars are funding all of that. And we're going to continue it with a continuing resolution to do what? Buy time to cut a deal that will do what? Spend even more money, rack up even more debt to continue these policies at war with the American people. With that, I will yield 2 minutes.